Welcome to Tao Tuesday, Wednesday morning. There we go. Getting it right the second time is really my speciality. This time we're gonna cover from the 5th verse and to the 9th verse. It's been amazing. It's been filled with insights. It's been filled with reflections, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? Hope you have your coffee ready so we can enjoy this together. The sage is like heaven and earth. To him, none are especially dear, nor is there anyone who he disfavors. He gives and gives and gives without condition, offering his treasures to everyone. Man, that's really the description of the sage, right? He gives and gives without condition. That got me really thinking about conditioning. And like how, for me, I find it super difficult to give. I really do. And I do not quite know what it is. It feels like it's this clinginess to what I have, to what is mine. And if I give what is mine, then it's not mine anymore. If I give a homeless man $20, well then I don't have the $20 anymore. Therefore I lost $20. So I find that's like my paradigm, and I find it so hard to give anything. Really, and I take a taxi here. The taxis here are so cheap, you know, compared to Europa, where the taxis are very expensive. And yeah, I was actually talking about it with my fiance. We were taking a taxi, and he was like $4 for like, I don't know, 10 minutes ride, which is fine. Like, it's still super cheap, and also like he needs money to work. You know, he needs money to live. But I was like, $4? There should have been $2. Such a I don't know if it's greediness or a clinginess, but it really is with everything. Like we go out and eat, and then it's like $3.50 for like a full meal. It's like $3.50. That's so expensive. It's like, no, it's not. Like, what is that inside of me that feels that way, that clinginess to the money, that feeling that that everything is expensive. It's a feeling that everything is expensive, and every time I pay for something, I lose. Like I lose the money. That's what I feel like. But I also see it from the other perspective. Well, they need money. All of you, we all need money, and like paying for honest service is honest giving, you know. It's like, well, my service is paying the money, and their service is providing me with the food, or providing me getting me to my destination that I have to go to, right? It's an exchange. Yet it's like, my God, I feel such a clinginess, and I don't know if this is conditions. Like, what are my conditions then to giving? I don't know if this is conditioned, but it certainly is such a clinginess, and it certainly is not in harmony with he gives and gives without condition. Let's continue. Between heaven and earth is a space like a billows, empty and inexhaustible. The more it is used, the more it produces. This I find super beautiful. I really see it with kindness. That kindness is like, the more kindness is being used from the well of kindness, the more that's being produced. Like, the more kindness there is. It's like 1 + 1 = 3. The more kindness there are, the more kindness there will be. And it's like a positive energy flowing in a positive direction and cannot return. I really feel like that. And then that is also like with the giving. Well, then, so the more that you give, the more you will receive again. Because giving certainly is it is a gift, and it is a positive energy, and that's especially when you give selflessly, and it's like with a clean mind, and that you just well, here, of course, here. I'm reminded of a brother that I have. He's from what was that name in English for that country? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I met him in Colombia, and literally the first moment with him was him giving me something, and he was like, I just came and we haven't even talked, and he was like, do you want some of this? Giving, like the first thing he did to me was giving, and then he gave me something super kind. And we always remember people for what they give, right? We always remember people for what they give, or if they don't give something, if they're like in that energy of taking, you know, we always remember, when I think about my mom, I always think about all the good stuff that she gave. Giving really is the gift. To give is to give a gift. Hold on to the center. Man was made to sit quietly and find truth within. So how would I then let go of my conditioning, or let go of my clinging? And I think this has the answer. Hold on to the center. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about. It's like last week we talked about allow and return to the Tao. I think this is the same. So give and return to the Tao. Give and return to the Tao, and be like in the Tao, because the mind is clinging. And what am I gonna do? Am I gonna fight the mind? No, I'm not gonna fight the mind. But returning to the Tao, returning to the heart, and to that essence, that feeling that feeling inside, then that clinging does not have any root. If I keep being in the mind, then that clinging will stay there, and I'm like, ugh, and if I start fighting it, then I'm like in that realm. But if I just return to the heart, if I just return to the humbly, to the Tao, then that cannot get its roots inside of my mind, and they would slowly leave, fade away, flow out in the wind. Yeah. So let's continue. The 6th verse. This verse is so beautiful. I'm going to read the whole verse here. The spirit that never dies is called the mysterious feminine. All through she becomes the whole universe. Her purity is never lost. All through she assumes countless forms. Her true identity remain intact. The gateway to the mysterious female is called the root of creation. Listen to her voice. Hear it echo through creation. Without fail, she reveals her presence. Without fail, she brings us to our own perfection. Although it is invisible, it endures. It will never end. Wow! Man, that is so beautiful. The spirit that never dies is called the mysterious feminine. Listen to her voice. Hear it echo throughout creation. I was like, so let me listen to her voice. Well, how does one do that? Like, how does one do that? It's so easy to like, oh yeah, listen to listen to the birds, you know, to listen out. But it also is truly listening in, like listen to what's going on inside. You know, it's both yin and yang. It's both the outer and the inner. But what I really started doing was I really started listening to my fiance. I really started listening to her, because the spirit that never dies is called the mysterious feminine. Well, she is the feminine in our relationship, and so I really started listening to her, and I realized that I had not been listening to her that much. One thing that happened was that she finally felt seen and listened to, and then this energy, without fail, she reveals her presence. This presence of the divine feminine is in every and each of one of us. It is in all. It is all of creation. The gateway of the mysterious feminine is called the root of creation. It is all of creation. I really felt it with her. It was like this joy, this pure joy opened up inside of my fiance, and well, then she embraced me with that joy, so I was embraced in that loving energy, in that loving feminine, which I think is the dream for all men, really. It is definitely the most warm and sincere and beautiful feeling. I also find with listening to her voice, I find such a vulnerability in it, because it's when you are listening, you are open to receive, you're open to listen, and you really take it in. And I find I don't know yet what it is, but it makes me vulnerable. It makes me afraid, some kind of fear, like what will I, when I really truly listen, what will I find? Maybe actually the fear is, what will I find inside? When I really truly listen, what will I find inside? What is it inside of me that I'm not listening to? Let's hold on to the center from the 5th verse. Hold on to the center. Man was made to sit quietly and find truth within. And the 6th verse, listen to her voice, hear the echo through creation. Well, truth is within. What will I find then when I listen to that within? What am I scared of? What do I not know? Man, there's a lot coming up here, and it feels like it feels vulnerable. It feels very, very vulnerable. Now I also went around and started listening to everything, listening to the birds. I was like, yeah, oh wow, the echo of creation, so beautiful, so beautiful. And what I found when I started listening to humans, that was actually the most interesting part. I have noticed it a little before, but now I was really listening, and it became very more clear to me. What I hear, with no exceptions, when I listen to humans, is love. No exceptions, it's love. But it's like in this spectre, it is the fullness of love, from the fullness of love to the absence of love. Absence of love still being love, just as well as darkness does really not exist. What darkness truly is darkness is the absence of light, but it's still light. The absence of light is still light, right? So darkness and light is not separate. Love and hate is not separate. It's love and absence of love. Light, absence of light. And warmth, absence of warmth. And here in South America, they have music that's called reggaeton. And my God, it is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the worst music ever created by men. My God, it is horrible. It's just about sex and drugs and party, fiesta. That's what it's about, really. It has nothing of virtue, it has nothing of soul. It's just, but here's the thing, it's that expressing, like it is expressing that part of creation. It is expressing that part of life. It is expressing that part of the absence of love. It is expressing the part of absence of light. That's why it's so dark and so cold. It's the absence of warmth, the absence of light, the absence of love, but still expressing love in some form. And all who is there to pulse on that energy, to go with that energy, to jump into and get lost in that energy, are all there expressing the same thing. And I really find it beautiful. I really, even though I hate it from my core, I hate it. It's the worst. I really do also find it beautiful that life is expressing itself in that way, and that people are gathering and expressing themselves in that way, in this very much absence of love. Because if you are full of love, there's no way you're gonna express sex. There's no way you're gonna express drugs. There's no way. It's just not on your mind. And well, of course, like being full of love, we still have sex, but it's more expressing love. Like then it's more about making love than it's about having sex. There's a difference there. Like one is expressing the love for another person in an act, in a play, in a dance, and the other is this energy of horniness, satisfaction, desire. It's really disgusting. It's funny how something so sacred becomes so disgusting when it's like that. My God, very beautiful. I do really love Tao Te Ching. 7th verse. Are you ready? Heaven is eternal. Oh, I love this verse. So this verse literally tells us how to behave. It literally tells us how to behave in life. Yeah, I love it. I'm just gonna read it out loud. I'm gonna read the whole thing out loud. I love this verse so much. Heaven is eternal, the earth endures. Why do heaven and earth last forever? They do not live for themselves only. This is the secret of their durability. For this reason, the sage puts himself last, and so ends up ahead. He stays a witness to life, so he endures. Serve the needs of others, and all of your own needs will be fulfilled. Through selfless action, fulfillment is attained. Why does the heaven and earth last forever? Because they do not live for themselves only. This egocentric part of us is killing us. It's killing us. We are rotting away in a life, I wanted to say not worth living, but we are living it, and it also is part of life. So it is part of the wholeness. It is part of the beautiful of creation, you know. This egocentric mind is maybe, I think, is the absence of love, because it's the lack. It's me. It's I. But why does heaven and earth last forever? Because they do not live for themselves only. The sun, why does the sun last forever? Because it does not live for itself. The sun is like the equinimon, oh, I don't know that word. The sun is like the perfect example of forever giving. Giving. Its entire life, the sun is just giving. The earth, its entire life, it is just giving. Everything we have, we received from Mother Earth. That is very, very beautiful. And here is also the thing, and he actually talks about that in the 8th verse too, but I'm going to talk about it here too. So they are not living for them here. Serve the needs of others, like the sun, like the sky, like the earth. Serve the needs of others. But here's the thing: the sky, the sun, the earth is not doing service, right? They are not doing service. Service is the way that they are. It's the way of nature. Service is the nature of nature. It is service. So it's just the way they are. They're not trying to be at service. They're not doing anything to be at service. They are service. Just as well as when we have a tree. Just as well as a tree is not, when we are standing in the shadow of a tree, the tree is not doing service to us, because we don't want the sun's sharp, you know. The tree is not doing service for us, but yet we are receiving the shadow, we are receiving service. So the tree is at service, but it's not doing service. When a bird gets to a tree and makes a nest inside of the tree, is the tree at service for the bird? Well, is the tree doing service for the bird? No, it's not doing service. It is at service, yes, because that is its being. Its being is a being of service. And when it takes the carbon dioxide and makes it into oxygen that we then can breathe, is it doing service? Well, no, it's not doing service, because it's doing it's doing what it is. It is what it is. So a tree is service. The same, I'm not consciously doing my breath. I am breathing, but it's not something I'm doing. And makes the oxygen to carbon dioxide for the trees a service, right? So the nature of things is service. The nature of life is service. That is so beautiful. Selfless actions, and the selfless actions, then we're not thinking about ourselves at all. That's the deal with selfless actions. Here's the thing that my master told me, but I did not understand it at the time. But man, I got closer to it this time. So he shares about service when one is completely surrendered and in oneness with Brahma. He's a Hindu. And Brahma is the universe. As far as I understand, I do not know much about it. Brahma is the universe, and Brahma is also service. And he told me that when Brahma is doing Brahma to Brahma. And I was like, what? And then he explained it to me, and I was like, oh yes, I think I do understand. But now when I look more down to this and in the Tao, what it means is like, when Brahma is doing Brahma to Brahma, when Brahma is doing Brahma. So when Brahma, the universe, which we now know the nature of universe is service, which means the nature of who we are is service. So when service is doing Brahma, and Brahma is service because Brahma is the nature of the universe. When service is doing service to service. Here's the way you can translate it, I think. When the nature of the universe is doing the nature of the universe to the nature of the universe. When humans have surrendered to service and are acting in service, acting in harmony with life, in oneness, it is the nature of the universe giving the nature of the universe to the nature of the universe. Beautiful. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It flows to low places, loathed by all men. Therefore, it is like the Tao. Live in accordance with the nature of things. In dwelling, be close to the land. In meditation, go deep in the heart. In dealing with others, be gentle and kind. Stand by your word. Govern with equity. Be timely in choosing the right moment. One who lives in accordance with nature does not go against the way of things. He moves in harmony with the present moment, always knowing the truth of what just to do. Again, here we are giving a beautiful description of how to behave, how to be in dwelling, be close to the land. In meditation, go deep in the heart. In dealing with others, be gentle and kind, stand by your word, govern with equity. Be timely in choosing the right moment. Like, don't just, be thoughtful, be responsible, be timely in choosing the right moment. Just don't say anything at any time. How many times have we created conflicts in our lives because we were talking too soon, without thinking about what we had to say first, and without really expressing it in a thoughtful way, but just like, here it is, and then someone got hurt. I love this, and it's such a live accordance with the nature of things. Well, that is also living in accordance with the nature of who we are, with the nature of ourselves, right? Because we are nature. Nature's everything that is. All that is in the universe is nature. There does not exist anything outside of nature. Nature is all that exists. So it is us, and we are living in accordance with the nature of things. We're living in harmony with ourselves. We're living in harmony with our own inner nature. The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. Because that's our nature. That's who we are. We are service. We are the nourishment. We are the joy. We are the kindness. We are the service. We are the love. That's what we are. That's the nature of things. That's the nature of us. I don't have anything more to say about this actually, but I do want to comment on something that Dr. Wayne Dyer says, because this constantly reminds me of my very favorite quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer, which is integration or cultivating the thought of how may I serve. That is what this is reminding me of. How may I serve? And I love that it's not how can I serve or how do I serve? It's how may I serve? We are asking the Tao, we are asking the way of things, how we may serve here. Not how we can, how we should, or how we do. How may I serve here? It's so soft, it's so gentle, it's so humble. And I'm doing my best in keeping this in my mind all day. How may I serve? How may I serve? In any situation, how may I serve? And because that gives this In meditation, go deep in the heart. It has such a firmness. It has such a firmness and a kindness above it. Beautiful. Now, last verse of the day, the 9th verse. To keep on filling is not as good as stopping. Overfilled, the cup hands drip. Better to stop pouring. Sharpen a blade too much, and its edge will soon be lost. Fill your house with jade and gold, and it brings insecurity. Puff yourself with honor and pride, and no one can save you from a fall. Retire when the work is done. This is the way of the heaven. I don't think I have to comment at all in this. I was out way too much in the sun the other day, so now you can see how red I am. I should have retired when the work was done. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I really do hope you got something out of it. I really enjoyed. So have a beautiful day, have a beautiful life. See you next video, and see you next week, 3rd week of living the Tao. Have a really good day. Be happy.